Ever wondered what drives your actions, thoughts, and relationships? What if I told you that deep down, you fall into one of 6 distinct male personality types, and understanding this could change everything about the way you live your life? From the leader to the lone wolf, each personality has its own strengths and challenges. But what happens when you don't understand which one you are? You might be living in conflict with your true nature, holding yourself back without even realizing it. Stick around, because what we're about to dive into could reveal things about yourself you never knew. Personality. It's what makes us who we are. It shapes our decisions, our relationships, and how we interact with the world. But for men, understanding their own personality can sometimes be tricky. Society tells us who we should be, but what if who you are doesn't fit that mold? Psychologists have identified several male personality types that govern how men think, feel, and behave. But here's the thing. While these personality types are universal to some extent, every man has a unique combination of them. Yet knowing your dominant personality type can unlock the answers to questions like, why do I struggle with certain relationships? Why do I always feel like I need to prove myself? Or why am I always drawn to certain types of situations or people? Understanding which personality type fits you best will not only make you more self-aware, but it can also help you thrive in your career, relationships, and personal growth. But before we dive into these types, let's look at something most men aren't taught: the silent struggle. The pressure to fit in, to play a role, to be the right kind of man according to others' expectations. What happens when you try to ignore who you truly are? Let's discover the 6 major male personality types, and by the end, you'll know exactly where you fit. So, let's get into the 6 male personality types that drive most men's behavior. Think of them as archetypes, guiding principles that shape everything from how you work to how you love. These are not rigid categories, but frameworks that help us understand our inner drives. Here's how they break down. 1. The leader. This man thrives in positions of authority. Whether it's in his career, his social group, or his relationships, he naturally gravitates toward leadership roles. He's assertive, ambitious, and often has a clear vision for what he wants in life. The leader is driven by a need for success and respect, and he works tirelessly to achieve his goals. But the challenge here is balance. The pressure to succeed can often cause him to neglect emotional connections or fail to express vulnerability. His biggest fear? Losing control. 2. The protector. The protector is driven by a strong sense of duty, loyalty, and responsibility. He's the kind of man who takes care of those he loves, whether it's family, friends, or a partner. His primary focus is to shield others from harm, but sometimes this intense need to protect can lead to overbearing behavior. The protector often struggles with allowing others to fend for themselves. He wants to ensure that everyone is safe and comfortable, sometimes at the expense of his own well-being. 3. The lone wolf. Independent, self-sufficient, and introverted, the lone wolf is someone who prefers to go it alone. He values his personal space and has no problem spending long hours alone with his thoughts. However, his desire for solitude can make him seem distant or detached. He often avoids group activities or socializing, not out of dislike for people, but out of a need for personal time. The challenge of the lone wolf is opening up. His independence can isolate him from the emotional connections he secretly craves. 4. The provider. Focused on securing a stable future, the provider is the man who measures success by the tangible: his career, his finances, and his ability to provide for those he cares about. He's driven, practical, and responsible, but he often finds it difficult to break away from work or set boundaries. His life revolves around the idea of stability, but sometimes he becomes so consumed by it that he forgets to enjoy the present. The provider's emotional struggle is often about finding a balance between ambition and emotional fulfillment. 5. The rebel. The rebel is all about challenging the status quo. He questions authority, pushes boundaries, and refuses to conform. He's often the one in the group who sparks change or speaks his mind even when it's unpopular. This desire to break free can be inspiring, but it can also lead to instability and conflict with others. The rebel's greatest struggle is channeling his defiance in productive ways, rather than letting it cause friction with those around him. 6. The gentle soul. Compassionate, empathetic, and deeply in touch with his emotions, the gentle soul is the type of man who values deep connections and emotional intimacy. He's highly aware of his own feelings and the feelings of others. However, this emotional sensitivity can sometimes leave him vulnerable to being taken advantage of or misunderstood. The gentle soul's challenge is to protect his boundaries without shutting down his empathetic nature. Now that we've covered the 6 male personality types, let's talk about the real challenge. How do you know which one you are? It's not always clear-cut because most men embody traits from multiple types. But here's the key. Knowing your primary personality is like unlocking a secret to your behavior. It can explain the way you approach challenges, relationships, and even your emotional responses. So, which personality type resonates most with you? Are you the driven leader, the devoted protector, or perhaps the introspective lone wolf? Maybe you identify with the stability-focused provider, the rule-breaking rebel, or the emotionally attuned gentle soul. Here's the thing. Identifying your dominant personality is not about limiting yourself. It's about freeing yourself. Once you understand your core personality, you can begin to embrace your strengths while acknowledging and overcoming your challenges. For example, if you're a lone wolf, you might recognize that you need to connect more with others, even though it feels uncomfortable. If you're the rebel, you may find that your desire for independence can sometimes alienate you from others, but learning to collaborate can open up new opportunities. This is where the power of self-awareness comes in. By knowing your personality type, you gain insight into your natural tendencies, but you also unlock the ability to grow beyond them. This self-awareness becomes the key to both personal growth and fulfilling relationships. So now that you know the 6 male personality types, let's talk about how to make the most of this insight. 1. Embrace your core strengths. Each personality type has its strengths. If you're a leader, embrace your ability to guide others. If you're a protector, know that your loyalty and care for others are valuable assets. Recognize what you naturally excel at and harness those qualities to create positive change in your life. 2. Address your weaknesses. Along with your strengths, it's important to acknowledge the challenges each personality type faces. If you're a lone wolf, try to open up more to others and seek deeper connections. If you're the rebel, work on balancing your defiance with cooperation and respect for others' perspectives. 3. Invest in personal growth. Personality is fluid, it's not fixed. Understanding who you are allows you to grow beyond the constraints of your type. You can always develop new skills, perspectives, and behaviors that enhance your life and relationships. Whether it's learning to manage stress, improve your emotional intelligence, or enhance your communication skills, personal growth is key. 4. Build strong relationships. When you understand your personality and the personalities of those around you, you can cultivate more meaningful relationships. Embrace your natural traits, but also be open to adapting to others. Understanding personality types helps you navigate social dynamics and improve how you interact with friends, family, and colleagues. So, which of these male personality types do you identify with the most? Are you the leader, the protector, or perhaps the rebel? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reflections. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more insights into human behavior and psychology. Remember, understanding who you are is the first step toward becoming who you want to be. So which part of your personality will you work to embrace and improve today?